Good morning, dear students. Today, let us learn Value Education's lesson number 6, Being Faithful. In the starting of lesson, here is famous quote is given. I do not pray for success. I ask for faithfulness. The above famous quote by Mother Teresa tells us that focus should be on being faithful to God and believing in what He has planned for us. Faithfulness is a very powerful quality. If we are faithful to someone, we will never let that person down. Faith helps us in many ways. For example, faith in God gives us the strength to achieve even the most difficult task. It helps children to do well when they know that their parents have faith in them. Here are two stories to understand more about faithfulness. The first story is one such example where a nurse saved the infant in her charge at all the cost. Name of the story is Panna, the Faithful Nurse. This real story tells us about faithfulness of a nurse named Panna Dai. There was a king Rana Sanga in Mewar, Rajasthan. After few span, Rana Sanga has been died. Panna was Uday's nurse and was given the responsibility of taking care of the prince till he grew up and was ready to fight for the throne. And so Panna had been hiding in a remote fortress with the prince and her own son Chandan. He was also of the same age as Uday. A handful of very faithful servants were also there to help her. One day, an old maid from the palace informed Panna Dai that Banbir was riding fast towards their palace. Panna was now shaken up. What she had always been fearing was going to happen. Banbir, a cruel distant cousin, had been wanting to kill Uday and capture the throne for himself. Panna realized that she had to save Uday at any cost. She quickly changed her son's dress to that of Uday. Then she wrapped Uday very carefully into a bundle of some clothes of her own son and handed him to Moti and some trusted servant from the palace and told them to take care him and take him away very carefully to the banks of the river and at the foothills of the Aravali's Parvat and wait for her. Panna then sat beside the cradle. When Banbir Singh came, he asked where was Uday Singh. Panna silently pointed to the cradle. Panna witnessed the saddest moment in her life, a witness to the death of her own son. Panna sacrificed her own son to save Uday Singh, who later founded the city of Udaipur. History has recorded in letters of gold Panna as the faithful nurse. She is a true example to show how much one can sacrifice to demonstrate one's faithfulness to the person trusting you. Now let us see another story, Faithful Frisky. This is a story of a boy named Naren who has kept a dog by going against parents' wish. He promised his parents to that he would take care of that dog. His dog's name was Frisky. At first, Naren took good care of the Frisky. He fed Frisky, took him for a walk, gave him a bath, and did everything that was required. After some time, he started neglecting his dog and started asking his parents for more and more help. This time, when the family wanted to go out for the holidays, they had to choose a place where they could take Frisky. Naren had wanted to go to the amusement park but couldn't because of Frisky. The family instead of planned an outing to Naren's uncle's home, they driving down in their own car. Parvat, the name of his uncle, was a forest ranger and lived close to the forest. Naren's parents were excited as they could see animals in the wild, but Naren still was very sad and he wanted to go to the amusement park only. He ignored Frisky and didn't take part in any of the activities when they reached. Finally, Naren's parents spoke to him about his behavior. They pointed out that he was not fulfilling his responsibilities. Naren knew they were right but felt very angry. After the talk, he marched out of the house and walked about aimlessly. He finally calmed down and looked around and realized he was lost. He had wandered into the forest without realizing how deep he came inside the jungle. It was getting dark as well. Naren couldn't find a way out. He thought of his family, wishing he hadn't behaved in such a manner with his parent and Frisky. Now I will never be able to tell them how sorry I am, thought Naren. He sat down on the ground and pulled his legs towards him and buried his head on his knees. The tears flowed unchecked. Darkness had fallen, and he could hear the tweet of owls, the chirping of the cricket, the barking of Frisky. Wait, the barking of Frisky? Yes, that was him. He could recognize the Frisky's bark anywhere. He shouted, "Frisky, Frisky!" Then there was an answering bark, which quickly grew louder as it came to him. Frisky came running to the Naren and jumped up to lick his face. Naren laughed and cried at the same time. He was so happy and relieved. He followed Frisky back to where his parents and uncle were searching for him. They were very much relieved to see that he was safe. They gave him a big hug. Naren said sorry to them for causing so much worry. He then knelt down next to Frisky and gave him a big hug and said, "I promise I will always take care of you, just as you faithfully come to me. I will always be faithful to you." So, from these two stories, we can learn that those who are faithful are always respected and trusted. Thank you very much, children. I hope you enjoyed both stories.